Hi, Paul Bedford here from Retention Guru, and in this short clip originally recorded at the end of 2022, I was in Atlanta. I was invited to speak at the Fitness Technology Summit, originally the MotionSoft Fitness Technology Summit, but more recently rebranded. And I was talking about this concept of the 80% untapped market. There's been a piece of research done recently by my friend Dr Melvin Hillsdon on behalf of Fitronics, and I was asked to comment on that, the data and everything. Not that Melvin needs a review from me, but I did. And in this short clip, I'm talking about the data and how it relates to our industry and how we might be fooling ourselves by thinking there's a much bigger market for what we currently offer than there actually is. I hope you enjoy it.
Retain, recycle and so on. The 80%. It's a term often used within our industry to describe those people who are not currently participating within our health clubs. In the UK, that would be the 87%, but I'm going to keep referring to it as the 80% just because it makes sense in this context. There was a piece of research that was done recently that I presented at our national fitness conference in the UK. It's called the UK Active Conference. There's about 1,500 people attended, and I talked about recycling and retaining members. I hear all the time how important it is to retain members, and whenever I talk to people about that, they go, it's the number one problem we face, it's the number one challenge we've got pre-COVID. When I ask people, what are you doing about it? Well, we've tried this and we've tried that. But there's often not a very systematic approach to it. And I was interested to hear John talking this morning about Midtown and what they were trying to do. And he was making my brain thinking, well, did you try this or did you try that? But that's what I spend most of my time doing, developing strategies. Now, this is developed something on the UK fitness market. So 14% currently members we've got 14% penetration. We've got 30% are active outside of the four walls, but they're not members. Some have been members, but there's 30% of the population who are active on a regular basis, don't achieve World Health Organization goals. They're not doing the 300 minutes, but they are active. And then there's 56% who have never been a member of a gym. Now, this survey was done on what's called a representative sample. That means the people who were surveyed looked like the UK population. So it was conducted by a friend of mine called Dr Melvin Hillsdon. It was sponsored by a company called Fitronics, who you might better know as TRP. And Melvin himself discussed a lot of the background questionnaires, and then he did the research. 56% are not active and have never been a member of a gym. Here's the interesting fact that came out though. Only 8% of them said they might be interested in joining. Only 8% said they might be interested in joining. Now that starts with alarm bells, particularly with investors, because they go, well, I thought we had 80% of the market to hit for. And now you're saying, actually, there's 30% who are doing something but not in gyms, and only 8% of the rest that are thinking about it. I would take it like this. This is how I would think about it. There's only 8% of that 56% who are saying what we currently offer is attractive to them. It's not saying they would never ever be involved in the fitness and leisure industry or the gym industry. They're just saying what we currently present to them as an image, as a product, they're not interested in. Now, I think what we got really good at during COVID was pivoting and reframing and changing. And there are people in this room who are changing the way their business works every single day during the COVID period to stay on track. We got really good at that. I've got another presentation that talks about the pendulum swinging. The pendulum was here, it swung way out, we had to pivot, we had to change, we had to do things differently. And then when we reopened, most things, and most operators, pendulums all swung back to pretty much where they were before, maybe just off a little to the side, with a few hybrid memberships, or we're trying a few different things. But many people were so tired and fatigued after they were working in the businesses trying to make things happen during lockdowns, that the simplest thing to cope with was go back to what we did before that was working. I think we have to be really careful here that we don't miss an opportunity to be really creative and start making things that are more attractive to these people who aren't coming in. I do think a product like eGym sits on that border between traditional fitness and this other population. That electronic resistance approach, where you're not staring and comparing, as I call it, as you lift and someone else lifts, and I can see what you're lifting, I'm thinking, oh my God, that's so much stronger than me. I get gym intimidation. We've seen a lot of research in the UK recently on gym intimidation. I hadn't thought about it till someone had mentioned it on the panel this morning, talking about the shift away from cardio towards strength and a lowering of the number of female members. And has that created more gym intimidation for our female clients? Those weights areas have become more intimidating for female members to be in.